Hey, what up, Wartime Saints? I know it's been quite a bit since I've done a video, but there's good reasons for it. I can assure you. But nonetheless, time has opened up again, and I'll be able to hit these up more regularly. Um, and since I've had more time lately, I've been able to get back on my personal reading. Books that I like to just dive into, audiobooks I listen to while I'm at work or going on walks. A lot of the times that I am not specifically learning something theologically, I do admit I do have a liking for, like self help, books or financial motivation, creativity, stuff that, in a sense, the world can capture. And the reason I think I like these books is because Christians, sadly, are very, I don't want to say sadly, but there's a pietisticness to Christianity. Now, piety is really good. I'm not talking about piety. I'm talking about this pietistic way of thinking. For instance, you won't find many books on true finances in terms of growing finances, in terms of seeking to establish, investments and things of that nature from a Christian perspective. What you'll find is how money is dangerous and how we use money for the glory of the Lord. But it's more so like as it relates to sinfulness, and not so much how we are as Christians to make the most of that tool. Or something like productivity. We'll often see books about, how often we're too busy and we need to make time for God, and we need to make sure we schedule out, devotional time, and to not get caught up in the busyness of life and things of that nature. But you don't see too many books from a true Christian perspective. I know there is one by Tim Challies, by the way, but you don't see too many books on, productivity and how to, make sure that we're truly tapping into the making the most of our time and things of that nature. And so, all that to say, I don't read self help books because, I think that the Word of God isn't sufficient, or I don't read self help books because I think that they have some hidden knowledge, some Gnostic knowledge, and they found some truth that isn't in the Bible. In fact, I like to read self help books because as a Christian, I'm able to see what they're saying, understand why it works in the world that God has given. And so, all that to say, now that I have a little bit more time again, I read a book on productivity, and it's called Feel Good Productivity. It's by a doctor, and basically, in the book, it's laying out how joyfulness in our productivity is actually one of the most potent things that you can do for the sake of getting a lot done. And so, as a non-Christian, there's a sense of, okay, joyfulness. Let me craft my identity around this. Let me make sure that I'm having a like a play like spirit, and then I'm building people up, and some affirmation in them or in myself. Like positive thinking. And the book talks about in how it's important to have a community as you do it, supportive relationships and accountability to help boost your motivation, and how you can't do it alone, to not let fear hold you back. And so you see all this and you think, okay, it's not that this guy has found the secret sauce that isn't in the word or something, but it's actually all this is comporting with Christian reality. And so, as I'm reading this as a Christian, I'm easily able, by God's grace, to be able to see this element, you could call it, that this man has discovered, and it really helped him, and it's helped many others, I'm sure, where you get joy, you get a sense of a childlike excitement for what you're doing. You associate that joy and that childlike excitement with the task that you're doing, not just the completion of it, but the actual process of it. And then in that reality, you include others, you include community, and you get a lot done. And so, as a Christian, you could say, well, yes, the joy of the Lord is our strength, right? As a community, as a brotherhood, as like-minded Christians, we are on mission together. We do it as jovial warriors. We do it with a play-like spirit about us, not grumpy, not just head down, just always just looking like we can't be bothered and short tempered. And so, all that to say, this book was really good. I actually really enjoyed it. And I really enjoyed it because, well, the scriptures ultimately teach the same truth, right? It's the I think one brother was just saying that in this new creation, joy should be the biggest marker of the Christian. A sense of delightfulness, of cheerfulness, of a joviality should be the marker of the Christian because, while it all pertains to our God, it all relates to our God. Christ is Lord over it all. So, in our quest for true productivity, may that quest in doing a lot for the Lord be marked by joy, by laughter, by a community of brothers that are doing it, not to have one-upmanship, not to rub it in each other's face, not to be prideful around each other, to boast in our own skill or effort, but to actually, with the sense of almost like, hey, we're doing this in a sense of true joy. We're carrying out this productivity with a true delight for the task and the mission that we're on. All of Christ's men, all of his soldiers, all of Christ's army, as it were, should have a true delight in them because they're on the winning team. They know what this is all for. They know where this is all rising up to. So as you seek to increase your productivity, it's not just a head down, grind it out, be miserable the entire time. It's actually the opposite. It's as you're seeking to do more, find the joy in the fact that God is using your efforts to advance his kingdom. Find the joy in knowing that your domain that you have before you, that God has called you to, is actually a domain where he's getting dominion in and through you to the glory of Christ by the grace of Christ. So as you're seeking to be productive in this life, have joy at the center of it. Have the joy of the Lord as your strength. Be that which keeps your sails, as it were. That is the wind in your sails that keeps you moving forward. Don't be productive at the expense of joy. It'll never last. As you're being productive, it's the joy of the Lord. It's a joy of knowing Christ has you. Christ purchased you. Christ is using all this. Christ is delighting in all this. Christ is being glorified in all this, in the beginning process, in the middle processes, and in the finished completed work that you offer up to him, whatever that productivity is. It's always joyful. And I think this is truly one of the, as I look back on my life and as I look back on seasons where I was being productive, so to speak, and the best seasons of productivity were the ones where I was enjoying it, when I was remembering the joy of the Lord. The worst were the ones where I was grumbling the whole way, where I was frustrated, where I wasn't thankful, where I wasn't remembering the ultimate and the ultimacy of mission in it. So, Christian brothers, in your productivity, you must be joyful. You must have the joy of the Lord be your strength. Don't get caught up in a grumpy, I got to get everything done. And if I don't get it done, or if I don't do this, if I don't do that, it's all grumpiness and ugly. And there's no joy there. That won't last. Only a true joy in mission is what will make you productive to the glory of God.